It happened in the late 1990s, in a small provincial town where nothing much ever happened, until the night Sarah died. Sarah was 12, a quiet girl who often stayed late after school. Some said she was bullied. Others said she just liked being alone on the rooftop of the school building, where the wind blew strongest. No one really knew what went through her mind that day. The day she climbed over the edge and jumped. The school closed for 3 days. When classes resumed, the teachers avoided talking about it. Students whispered in hallways, pointing at the rooftop as if it held a curse. But life moved on, everyone it seemed, except Jeff. Jeff was the janitor, a man in his 40s, quiet, never really spoke much unless spoken to. He had been the one to find her body. He was the one who had to clean the blood on the concrete where Sarah had landed. And ever since that day, Jeff swore something wasn't right. The first night back on duty, he heard it, a faint tapping sound above him. When he looked up, the ceiling tiles seemed to tremble, as if someone was walking up there, the rooftop. At first, he brushed it off as rats. But then came the crying, a faint, muffled sob that echoed through the empty hallways when everyone else had gone home. "Hello?" Jeff called out, clutching his mop tighter. His voice echoed. No one replied, but the sobbing grew louder. One night, near midnight, Jeff gathered his courage and followed the sound. It led him to the stairwell that climbed all the way up to the rooftop door, the very door Sarah had opened that final evening. As he climbed, he felt the air grow colder. His skin prickled. The crying had stopped, but the door ahead stood slightly ajar, swaying with the night wind. When Jeff pushed it open, the rooftop was empty, just the city lights flickering in the distance. But then, he noticed something strange. Small, wet footprints leading across the concrete, bare footprints, the size of a child's. He followed them until they stopped abruptly, right at the edge, the very spot Sarah had jumped. Jeff froze, staring into the dark void below. And then, behind him, a small voice whispered, "Why didn't you save me?" He spun around. No one was there. The rooftop was empty. From that night on, things only grew worse. Doors slammed shut on their own when Jeff was alone. Children's laughter echoed through empty classrooms. His tools would be misplaced, only to reappear, neatly stacked near the rooftop stairwell. One night, as he mopped the hallway, Jeff saw her. A girl in a white uniform, hair falling across her face, standing at the end of the hallway. Just standing, watching him. "Sarah?" he whispered without meaning to. The girl tilted her head. Then, without a sound, she turned and walked into the stairwell. Jeff dropped his mop and chased after her. His heart pounded as he climbed the stairs, his flashlight beam shaking wildly. When he reached the rooftop door, it was open again, swaying in the night wind. And there she was, Sarah, standing at the edge. Her arms hung limp at her sides, her head tilted down. "Sarah, you need to go. You don't belong here anymore," Jeff said, his voice trembling. The girl slowly turned her head, her pale face illuminated by the moonlight. Her eyes were dark, hollow, endless pits. "You watched me fall," she whispered. Her voice cracked, like bones snapping. "You let me die!" Jeff stepped back, horrified. I wasn't there. I didn't know." But Sarah began to walk toward him, her bare feet leaving wet footprints on the concrete. Each step echoed louder than it should. The wind howled, and the rooftop seemed to shrink around him. Jeff stumbled back toward the door, fumbling for the handle. His flashlight flickered, then died completely. The last thing he saw before darkness swallowed him was Sarah's face inches from his own. Her mouth stretched unnaturally wide, and then everything went silent. The next morning, Jeff's coworkers found the rooftop door open. His mop, his flashlight, and his keys were lying on the ground, but Jeff himself was gone. Some say he jumped, just like Sarah. Others believe she finally pulled him over the edge, but no one knows for sure. To this day, the rooftop is locked. Students whisper when they pass it. And sometimes, late at night, the janitors say they still hear a girl crying, followed by the heavy footsteps of a man walking beside her.